Joining us is actually quite an interesting guest. This is because under the ECER Master Plan 2.0, ECER Development Council is adapting the region's socio-economic development strategy to capitalize on Industry 4.0 or IR 4.0 innovations and applications to ensure that the ECER leapfrogs into the new global economy, which is in line with Malaysia's Industry 4 WRD or forward goals. As ECER transitions into the technology of a tech-based environment and a productivity-driven economy, the Asia Center of Excellence for Smart Technologies, or ACES, is a key strategic initiative to accelerate the adoption of IR 4.0 to create quality jobs and entrepreneurial opportunities in that region, or the East Coast region. So to discuss further on this right now, joining us live via video call is Datuk Raghu Simpasivam, the COO, or Chief Operating Officer of the East Coast Economic Region Development Council, or ECERD. Good morning, Datuk. Let's talk a little bit more about how ECERD can do to help Malaysia leapfrog into the adoption of 4IR, and what will be some of the challenges that you think is going to be impacting this particular leapfrog or growth towards achieving these objectives.
Okay, good morning and thank you very much. Before I speak about how ACES can actually help on Malaysia to take a further leap into 4IR, I think I need to say a bit about ECRDC itself. And here, one of the pillars of development adopted by ECRDC is the human capital development programs, besides attracting private investments and implementing strategic projects. The intent of such human capital development is to enable participation by semua lapisan rakyat in the spillover we expect from development and investments into the region, aligning with the Yang Mahathir Prime Minister's call for Keluarga Malaysia. So now, in the past 10 years or more, we have implemented programs such as Empower, ECR Academic, Entrepreneur ECR, ECR Talent Enhancement Program, and all these programs have incorporated the adoption of digitalization and Industry 4.0 elements. To give you some examples, we have had robotic classes for Orang Asli sponsored by MyKasih. We have entrepreneurs who have been inculcated to adopt e-marketing, and participants are skills training being exposed to Industry 4.0 in their area of employment. Now, we feel that what we are doing now will help Malaysia to take a further leap into the Industry 4.0. In terms of challenges that we face, as you mentioned just now, I think the ECR region is a very wide region, and the urbanization in the ECR region is quite limited. So for us to reach out to the public and the entrepreneurs in the ECR region is a bit of a challenge, but we have come up with certain online programs which will actually help for us to expedite this adoption of Industry 4.0 in the ECR region itself. That will be some background.
Dato', we want to talk a little bit more about ACES, because ACES then appears to be ECERD's anchoring pillar to leverage the future of digital economy. Can you talk to us a little bit more about ACES and how would ACES live up to such an expectation?
Okay. ACES actually was formed with a single intent to play a key role in promoting and understanding and adopting Industry 4.0 in the region. This role was clearly laid out in the ECR's Master Plan 2.0, as you mentioned just now, which was launched in 2018. And it was incorporated in 2022 with three main tasks: to create awareness of the impact and adoption of Industry 4.0, incorporate Industry 4.0 elements into skills training, and adoption of Industry 4.0 elements in businesses. We have, through the programs such as ACES web app, brought awareness of Industry 4.0 to school leavers. The participants found it very enlightening as it exposed them to elements such as big data analytics and cybersecurity, I think something that you just spoke about earlier in your program. It also gave them an idea of courses they could pursue and also the universities they could attend. This was well received by the state governments, and we are now working with them to incorporate it as part of the curriculum for Form 4 and Form 5 students moving forward. So besides that, we are also looking through the Penjana program to adopt Industry 4.0 in skills training. So with all these programs and attempts, I think this is how ACES is actually playing its role in bringing about the Industry 4.0 adoption, awareness, and applicability in the region itself currently.
Okay, if ESET were to see ACES positioning itself as among the regional, I guess, champion and even global reputation centers of excellence, could you tell us the unique selling point or unique selling features of ACES to see where you guys are positioning ACES amongst the whole proposition of the East Coast Economic Corridor right now?
All right. As I said, ACES was formed in 2020. We are quite a young company at the moment. But our key partner in this whole thing is Technische University of Munich, which is a leading university in Germany for Industry 4.0. In fact, they are one of the pioneers. And they are also a leading university in entrepreneurship. As a matter of fact, TUM was the first university to be named University of Excellence in Germany. Now, the strengths that our partner, i.e. TUM International, has is they have very strong links with companies such as BMW, Osram, Infineon, the top German companies in Germany. And they have been having this academic industry collaboration. Now, we are going to take those knowledge and incorporate it and help the local enterprises in ECR itself to adopt the application of Industry 4.0 and also to become more efficient in their production and marketing. The other thing about TUM International is that they have one of the renowned innovation center in Munich, which they call it the Space Maker. Now, this innovation center is where ideas are actually put to test and challenged and see how it can be further applied in the everyday life that we have. So these are some of the things that we are doing now to actually enhance the application of Industry 4.0. And we feel with this collaboration with TUM International, we can position ourselves as a reputable COE in the region itself.
Dato, there seems to be plenty of talk or conversation into how the economic regions in the country can actually get more investments and build more partnerships the way you are building right now with universities in Germany and other centers of excellences around the world. Say, for instance, the Northern Economic Corridor, the Southern Economic Corridor, the East Coast Economic Corridor. Would you feel, or do you feel, that there would be some internal competition amongst all the economic corridors in order to attract talent, to attract entrepreneurs, or to build partners? Where do you guys see yourself in terms of trying to get the best out of your partners and investors and entrepreneurs against other economic regions?
Okay. When the idea of the economic corridors were mooted, they had already looked into the unique propositions of each of the corridors. If you take the Northern Corridor, their strength is in the E&E sector, which East Coast does not have. If you look at IRDA or the Southern Corridor, their key selling point will be to leverage on Singapore itself. And if you look at Sarawak, they've got cheap energy from their renewable energy for them to look at heavy industries that needs all this cheap electricity. And Sabah has got its own unique selling proposition. So we are not competing with each other, but we are actually complementing each other and emphasizing on our own strengths. Like in the East Coast, our strength is on OGP. We have the Kerteh Integrated Petrochemical Complex. We have the Gebeng Integrated Petrochemical Complex. So we are looking at OGP downstreaming and activities that will be leveraging on those elements. In the East Coast also, we have minerals where we're looking at downstreaming activities. And as we all know, the East Coast is also an agrarian society. So we are emphasizing on agriculture as well. You know, the farm fresh production in Muar Zamshah is one very successful project that we have implemented in East Coast, and also the rompine, the pineapple that is sold in most of the supermarkets now, which is also coming from the East Coast itself. So we look at our own strengths and we try to leverage on that to create new entrepreneurs and bring about these investors into our region. So competition is not there, overlapping is not there. It is more complementing, and like I said earlier, this actually is aligned to the Prime Minister's call that every Keluarga Malaysia benefits all around Malaysia itself in what we do.
Political risk needs to be discussed. Dato, do you feel that because of the expectation of the elections and many other stuff involving politics, is this going to impact or impede on you doing your work or the folks at the East Coast Economic Region doing their work?
No, we have always put ourselves as political. We have worked with various governments. ECR covers Kelantan, Terengganu, Pahang, and also the district of Mersing, and soon to be district of Segamat. And we have been around for the last almost 15 years. We have worked with various state governments. Our goal is to bring development to the region. Our goal is to make sure the region can develop in tandem with the West Coast. So our focus is on getting projects and programs done, and we leave the politics to the politicians.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Datuk Raghu Simpasivam, the COO of the East Coast Economic Region Development Council, or ECERD, joining us live this morning.